Why isn't it all right for black women to be angry? Why is it necessary for them to pretend that it doesn't hurt? And that's what they do all day, every day, in order to get along with people like you. They have to pretend that they don't know how ignorant you are. And they're nice enough not to call you stupid. They call you uninformed or misinformed. They don't bother to call you stupid. Now, listen, the problem isn't stupid. You can't fix stupid. The problem is ignorant. You can fix ignorance. You do it with education. And you need to self-educate. And black women have every right to be angry.
It's exhausting being black.
I am a black woman, and I probably have not endured as much hardship as most, but the reality is that there is a tide and there's a very large polarization, and unfortunately black people in America have been pushed aside and polarized more than most and for much longer. So that's a very real thing. And when you talk about having to raise a family, do what you have to do, kind of scrape to get by, it can come across as being angry, but in reality, it's you're at your wit's end and you're trying to do everything you possibly can to make it.
Wow. I think it depends on who you ask. I think it depends on the subject matter, but I think there is a little bit of anger for different reasons. We can look at the anger that we tend to have when we look at relationships and the fact that there's a lack of black men. And then when our men do go and date outside of our race or our culture, I think, we're angry in that sense. I think when we look at the playing field being leveled for jobs, there's some anger there. So I think I could probably make a list of maybe 5 or 6 different things. And there'll be a little bit of a chip on our shoulders. You know, I had to work so much harder in school than my counterparts, my friends that were either Anglo or Hispanic. Why? And in the end, I own my own business and I'm achieving more there, than they are. But I had to work so much harder to get where I am. And then I got to tell my daughter, it's not just okay. It was never okay to just get a high school diploma. It's barely okay to go to college and just get a bachelor's. She has to go for the master's or just, to be equal to those that are, her peers, be it, Hispanics or white. So I do think we're angry.
I think we're all angry. I don't think it's just a black woman angry. I think everybody should be angry right now, I don't think it's just a black woman. The black woman reflects the black man, right? So if she's showing the anger, anything, we should have the attitude, But if you notice how they train black people in over Jim Crow era, black women always been up front, always was pushed up front, above, and had to take on a role as being the aggressor sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You see pictures when you see a black woman standing in front of the black man, protecting, like looking out, like no, looking out, don't hit my man, don't hit the slave, or first in line and doing things. So I just think if you want to say an angry black woman, it's just a reflection of the angry black man.
I don't know that. I think that they're frustrated, but not angry. I mean, when you live a life trying to kind of fight for something, I mean, and it doesn't go as planned, I think they're just tired of it. But angry, I think that's a little of a stretch, personally.
Like I have no time for it. You're not going to set definitions on me. You're not going to set limits on what I can do, how I can do it, and when I can do it. And black women everywhere, that's what we feel. Like, you're not going to tell us, you're not going to police us. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to police us. And this ain't coming from the feminist standpoint of you're not going to police my body. No, you're just not going to police me, period.
And so, because here it is. Growing up, nobody could cross me because I would pop off quick. But I learned to, and when I said, as far as to not show the anger or to pull back or not say anything, it's basically because I learned everybody expected that. Mm-hmm. Everybody expected Joyce to pop off. you say something, you cross Joyce, you know, Joyce don't play, she gonna pop off on you, ain't nobody gonna mess with Joyce. And I had to learn to not give them that.
I say when you recognize, you know, how anger, how joy, happiness, success, how all that affects your body, your soul, your mind, your temple, everything, you're gonna go towards those feelings more. So when anger does come up, you're gonna learn to recognize it, hit those feelings. This is why I'm angry, and get over it as quick as. And that's just something I've learned with age.
It's a mind
I'm in my 30s, and I feel like I've learned that with age. I didn't know that back in my early 20s.
Basically, if somebody like makes you angry, or somebody like takes over your emotions, like they have control over you.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, you're the only one that control your emotions, and sometimes it's not worth people seeing, because some people are looking for a negative reaction out of you. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's okay for you not to be showing that to people, because that gives other people the satisfaction of making you angry.
I do not believe black women are angry. And then when you see black women that may be angry, they have all reason. I think black women have it tougher than anybody in America. And that has a lot to do with, you know, racism and other things, but more so also too in terms of black men not reaching our potential a lot. And so a lot of the responsibility for our families and our communities are thrust upon black women. So in my opinion, they got a lot to be angry about. They're the strongest being on earth.
I feel like the angry black woman narrative is so simple and it's so lazy, because as a whole, we're very complex people. Everybody is multidimensional, but I feel like black women in general are so complex in that they provide everything, but they're given nothing. And they don't ever complain because they don't feel like they have the space to complain.
My mom was physically present, and I hear that all the time, but your mom was home, she was with you, da-da-da. Yeah, but she was not spiritually, mentally, psychologically, or emotionally available. You want to know what type of warfare that does on a young lady that has a heart as big as the world? Like, I'm a loving person. My nature is to be giving. My nature is to be fun and lighthearted and spirited. Can you imagine how much of a misfit I felt in her presence? I felt like I was doing too much. Every time I would turn around, she would tell me to be quiet, shut up, sit down somewhere, you're doing too much. I wish you would just sit and be in one place and mind your business and not talk so much. Can you imagine how that feels to a woman who her heart and her purpose and her spirit is to communicate and to talk and to express herself and to be creative and to be imaginative? So yes, that anger originates from where you come from. I can't speak for the whole population of black women, but I can tell you that I have had my moment in anger. It is a grieving process because there was somebody that I wanted mom to be, and I had to let that woman die and accept her for who she is so that the healing can take place.
I would say that we have a right to be angry, but a lot of us are hiding our anger. And that's why we're facing a lot of mental health issues. When I talk to my grandmother and hear about the stories of her mother, and I really, I'm sorry. And hearing, so I took a journey to grow, to learn about my family tree. And last year, I took all my girlfriends to a plantation in South Wadmalaw, South Carolina, where my great-grandmother, her mother, raised her, and I learned about their passions, their pains, a lot of the stories that were behind a lot of them. And I was wondering, where were all the men? My family is all women, and they were angry. But once I understood why, and the fact that a lot of black women were made to be the head of homes, to provide, to be strong in spaces where a lot of communities have men to support and build families. I saw the hurt, but then I saw how that hurt wasn't being embraced by even men in our communities, and that hurt turns into anger. You know, when you silence hurt and you internalize it, anybody would be angry. So when you see the generations of silence and strength together combined and having to push through situations, you know, holding a home together, birthing babies, providing for those babies, and still not having a soft space to land, hell yeah, you'll be mad.
Are Black women angry, and do they have a right? I think yes, but I think that in general, Black people have a right to be angry. Like, if you understand, like, to the core as a people, like, what's happened, like, I'm angry. You know, like, when I think about my brothers and sisters locked up or in situations where, you know, it's just not favorable. It's not right. Like, fuck favorable. It's just not right. That hurts me, and it makes me angry because when I walk into other areas, I understand that I live in a place where this is not, it doesn't have to be this way. In general, like, yes, we have a right to be angry, but I also think that we have a bigger right to heal.
Can't breathe. Your silence is suffocating me. My stomach aches from all the lies you feed. All the lies you feed. All the lies you feed. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up, dear America. Speak up, dear America. Speak up. Speak up. I can't breathe.
I go for it like it's 4 for sure, then my tailback's the best. Label me a risk taker, although I feel that success. I got bees, a sweat trickling down my physique. On the quest to get chubby, can't live out my life petite. I hold the folk, damn, call it folk. Tell that death is coming for dishonor, so I hold my folks. Damn, you could trace my roots back to the Zope, man. Connection so hereditary, don't ever dare me to put cause in it.